Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahlia. In this incarnation, I am here today to talk about the conjunction of Saturn and the North Node in Pisces. This is an extension of things that I was mentioning yesterday. This conjunction is going to be perfected on April 14th, and it is truly active from since March, and it is going to continue the whole month, all April. Conjunctions between Saturn and the North Node happen every 12, 11 years. And the last one occurred in September of 2013 in Libra, which is a sign associated to balance, harmony, peace, justice, the relationship with the others and with ourselves. And right now, this is given in Pisces, which is a sign that represents unity, the collective emotions, the artistical expression of those emotions, empathy, compassion, our spiritual connection, among many other things. So Saturn, it is the planet of boundaries, structure, responsibility, authority. As I'm going to focus today in how we can channel this in our individual experience. And because it is creating this union with the North Node in Pisces, we are transiting experiences that are pushing us to assume responsibility for what is truly in coherence with our soul, but also to establish boundaries to repetitive patterns of the past, because Saturn, it is at the same time opposing to the South Node in Virgo. This is activated in the house in which we have the degree 26 of Pisces. If you have planets close to this mathematical degree of Pisces, Virgo, and every mutable sign, actually, Sagittarius, Gemini, you are going to feel this. Also, if you have ascendant immutable signs. And then people that have planets close to that mathematical degree, but in signs of earth and water, not immutable. I mean, Capricorn, Taurus, Scorpio, and Cancer, they are going to receive this aspect in a more fluid way, because we're talking about sextiles and trines. So that can make softer, the energy of Saturn, that many times, well, it has many expressions that I'm going to try to describe right now. It is a very karmic transit, because that is the quality of the nodes, lunar nodes or karma nodes, as I call it, and Saturn. And with karmic, I am referring to situations of the past, South Node, or similar ones, because perhaps we are transiting a new spiral of them that could return, so we can make a different choice. Saturn could represent this need of restricting ourselves in certain areas of life so we can build in the long term. For example, if for a person this happens in the house 6, it is just an example. It doesn't necessarily to be the only expression. So for a person that this is happening in his or her house 6th, this could imply taking a decision of restricting certain habits that are impacting his or her health, to consolidate routines that are efficient and that are actually contributing. So this is a important decision, because we're talking about Saturn and the North Node. This could also be about investment of sustained energy. For example, if I have to start a project from zero, this could require to restrict time of resting or resources in other areas of life to put it in that project. And as I was saying yesterday, Venus is pretty involved in this, because not only this week it is going to perfect its second conjunction being retrograde, but Venus has another one, the third one, being direct at the end of April. So this has a lot of relation with relationships, self-love, resources. And being Pisces, the North Node, we are talking also about decisions that are very, very intuitive, that are implying to surrender to that inner guidance, even if we don't have the whole information, because many times that is the pattern of the South Node in Virgo. I want to have a plan, I want to know everything step by step, etc. So as I was saying yesterday, this involve establishing boundaries to situations, people, or forms of service. We are talking about a job, but also things that we could do for others that aren't actually corresponding to us, because we are doing those things because we have very incorporated those actions as a pattern, perhaps because we think that is the correct thing, with quotation marks, what makes us a good people, for fear of reaction of others, or to avoid putting the focus in our own things, because many times when we are experimenting challenges in our own life, could be a mechanism of evasion, of avoidance, wanting to be in charge of the things that are happening for other people's lives. And that is the shadow of Pisces. So these could also show experiences that are being sustained because they bring a secondary benefit, but they aren't actually allowing us to develop maturity. For example, a job that is giving us resources, but it is very, very limited in relation to our true potential. So everything that is not done from that inner coherence, and we are all learning about this, this could manifest experiences that are putting a stop, that are showing us what we cannot sustain anymore, that are feeling restrictive, so we can choose differently. If there is a lot of resistance to see those situations, the transit with Saturn could be very determinant. I mean, Saturn is this archetype of the father that I don't know, the I'm not getting the expression right now in English, but well, with this level of severity. I don't know if this word exists or I am inventing it, but well, it shows us many times through pain and frustration what we need to do, what we need to take the responsibility, the experiences that we need to assume the responsibility, because many times it is precisely that what we need to redirect the energy. For example, if a person it is insisting in putting his or her focus in a relationship that is not being reciprocal, there is no construction, there is no emotional responsibility, and so a sin, it is manifesting that in a very clear way. That could be an expression of Saturn. So the greater, the more disposition that we could put to assume these important decisions, these very, very serious decisions, the more that we are seeding something wonderful in relation to our desires of the soul, our dreams, the experiences that we want to materialize, in new opportunities too. Knowing how to say no to something that could bring immediate satisfaction, but it is not bringing a positive result in the future, could be an expression, or saying no to things that are actually keeping us away from what we truly want to experience, but also making these efforts, again with quotation marks, because they are fluid ones, because we are approaching things that are actually in coherence with ourselves. But perhaps it is an effort because those situations require patience and to detach ourselves from immediate results. So I just wanted to leave this message today. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.